Oh, we got a good one here. It's always a grand good day for us, we the people, when dirty, disgusting pursuit cops get indicted on charges for offing and unliving innocent good people over nothing. Well, we got one right here. These cops in Mississippi get indicted on charges for unaliving a guy during a traffic stop right here. Traffic stop ends in fatal shooting of black man. Cops are indicted. Let's get to it.
We got an update. Cops killed a man over a traffic violation. They are now indicted. Put them up full mask.
Here it is.
Cops indicted for fatally shooting a black man during a damn traffic stop. Grand jury has now indicted Stephen Randolph Frederick Jr. and Michael Reinwald, to Mississippi Capitol Police for manslaughter in the still murky shooting death of 25-year-old Jalen Lewis, motorist, in 2022. So Officer Stephen Randolph Frederick Jr. and Michael Reinwald acted, quote, willfully, unlawfully, and feloniously. Without malice, without authority of law. With malice, without authority of law, and not necessary self-defense during a traffic stop. So the true bill was obtained in Mississippi today, alleges Lewis and a 21-year-old female passenger were pulled over by Mississippi Capitol Police. This was in Jackson, Mississippi, for a traffic stop, 9 p.m., September 25th, 2022. According to the police report, Frederick and Reinwald told investigators that one of them shot Lewis in self-defense after Lewis drove his car toward them.
Yeah, supposedly.
Lewis was shot in the head and died the next day.
That's what the cops said.
Leaving behind a 4-year-old daughter, 2-year-old son. Heart goes out, obviously, to this family.
Yeah.
To the children.
Father, too, loses his kid.
Because of the criminal actions of two individuals who were supposed to protect that father.
They didn't.
Police report.
Oh, yeah. They were really protecting that father. No, the only thing they were trying to protect is themselves and their agenda and their fellow comrades in blue and their pension. That's why it pisses me off when these fraud or dweeb networks talk about, like, oh, these cops officers don't care about you. Yo, they do. They do. That's why they always talk about, oh, officer safety. Oh, yeah, these cops want to do shit to go home with their family. Well, you think that father want to go home with his family? You bet your ass he wanted to. Well, guess what? The kids don't get to see their father anymore because you scumbag cops offed him for no reason.
Says, no, we were in fear of our lives.
Yep, that's what the protocol is.
He was driving toward us. Typically, you have police reports that will fudge details. But this detail created an absolute get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
If they pulled it off, but they did not.
Thank God.
Upon hearing of the indictment, Lewis's mother, can imagine what she's going through. Her name is Marquila Lewis.
Marquila Lewis.
Said, quote, I could jump for joy. She has been trying for 3 years.
3 years.
Find out why her son's car was stopped by an unmarked police car that night. And what led to the shooting. Quote, he was a really good kid. I just want to know what happened. Were the lights on when you pulled my baby over? What was he doing? She said during a press conference covered by WAPT News at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church. This was in 2023, not too long after his death. So Ms. Lewis later said that the woman riding with her son told her that an officer walked toward them with his gun drawn. Quote, "My son screamed out, 'It's the police.' He froze. That's when the shots were fired." The indictment does not say which officer shot Lewis. Okay? That's easy. I know exactly who shot him, both of them, period. And here's why. Take off that blue uniform. Because according to the grand jury, they acted outside of the law, had no authority, and did not act in self-defense. So if that's true, why do we consider the uniform that they were unworthy to wear? Because it sounds...
You know what's so funny too? I think it's so hilarious when cops think they're a big badass, and we, the people, go up to them and say, "Hey, if you're a real man, why don't you take off your uniform, take off that badge and gun? If you're a real man, real men don't need to be cops. Little boys become cops. Little 65 bitches need to weapon themselves with a shield and a badge and a uniform." And the cops are like, "Oh, I consider that a threat." No, that's not a threat. I said, "I'm a man. Look at me. I'm an old man right here. Do you see me got a gun, a badge, a uniform? They're going to have their nifty little qualified immunity, the tiger in a clown uniform with a tin badge, like a bozo clown. No, we don't need that like that. Real men don't become cops."
As if they are acting as private citizens and not agents of law enforcement, which means that if two individuals engage in a felony act and one person kills the victim, what happens in this country, 48 states long? Both of you are charged with the murder.
Yep.
Period. There's more. According to the Mississippi Department of Public Safety, Frederick was allowed to resign March 2023,
Ooh.
shortly after crashing his own state-owned vehicle.
Wow.
He was charged with a DUI.
Oh.
He was then employed by the Scott County Sheriff's Department, according to Mississippi Today. Scott County Sheriff Mike Lee said Frederick had been working at his department for about a year when he was notified of the indictment, after which he was suspended without pay. Quote, "Stephen has been a good employee and worked without any complaints or incidents." Well, look at that. He commits murder and all of a sudden...
It's all forgotten. Washing the rug. Oh, it's all forgotten. Oh, yeah. Oh, it happened in another jurisdiction, another town. Oh, he's a great, outstanding cop. He's a pillar of the community. Yeah. It's just one of those other cases where if someone gets fired in a department and you get and they go up to another department, they don't even look at his background. Well, he's been outstanding. No complaint. Dude, but a terrific job for a community like that.
He's humble as a church mouse.
Yeah. I mean, he's clean as a preacher.
We were surprised by the indictment. I want you to understand the words of the sheriff.
Yeah.
We were surprised by the indictment, Lee said. Reinwald has been on administrative leave without pay, has not been actively employed with an agency since 2025, DPS said. Okay, let's go to the sheriff, Mike Lee. Mike Lee suspended the cop for getting indicted, but hired the cop knowing the cop killed this young man. He wasn't surprised that the cop committed murder based on the indictment. He was surprised that a grand jury in Mississippi would ever indict a cop for killing a black man. Why suspend him now, Sheriff? Doesn't make sense to me. Without pay. You hired him. Before his indictment in March, Reinwald already faced other charges, 2 aggravated assault Charges stemming from a traffic stop a month before Lewis's death. They were on a roll. Ryan Walt and Officer Jeffrey Walker pulled over a car in Sinatra, Jordan, August 2022, after he allegedly failed to stop at a red light. Jordan took off. Police chase ensued. And they decided to just shoot into Jordan's vehicle. Sharita Harris, a passenger, innocent, just riding, was shot in the head. Seems to be a pattern. Mississippi grand jury eventually indicted Jordan for felony fleeing and for shooting at the officers, which he denies. Harris says her face is now paralyzed. She was never charged with a crime and is now suing the officers for $3 million, accusing them of excessive force. Her attorney, Carlos Moore, told WJTV News he believes Ryan Walt was the shooter. A grand jury decided in December of 2024 to indict Ryan Walt and Walker, alleging they willfully, unlawfully, feloniously attempted to cause bodily injury to both Jordan and Harris. They got off light. It should have been attempted murder. Exactly. Meanwhile, state and federal authorities, put them up, are examining what role Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey may have played in the August dismissal of DUI charges against Frederick. Mississippi Today is reporting on this. Bailey already faces intense scrutiny related to the self-described, remember, Goon Squad. We brought it to you. Indisputable. Interviewed the victims.
Goon Squad.
This is as corrupt as a local police department likely gets. If it's not the most corrupt, it's up there. Goon Squad, fixing tickets. We now have a story out there about the sheriff basically having slaves on his farm. And now this. Law enforcement has a cultural issue. Jackson, thoughts?
So, I think that the general atmosphere that we're in right now is ultimately going to provide, Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, strong opportunity to really organize on the ground. And I know this is a point that I bring up often, but the reality is that the American public has become too accustomed to gun violence of all kinds. We've already went through the George Floyd protests. We've already seen so many issues and come up with gun violence and all sorts of other issues that we deal with, and nothing really changes, which has a lot to do with why Kamala lost, because the public doesn't really particularly have faith in the Democrats just because they'll throw you a bone every once in a while. But at the end of the day, it's really our responsibility to do something about this. I'm 33 years old right now. I say that a lot, but pretty much all of us in that like mid 20s to 50 plus range, but kind of that mid 20s to 50 range, it's really our turn to step up. A lot of these people who are in positions of power, they're in their 70s, 80s, or maybe they're younger than that, but just that corrupt rotating door. These people are lazy. These people aren't really ready to fight if we unite and come together. So tell your cousin to run for office somewhere, right? Because that's really the only reason any of this is going to change. People need to see results so that we can believe again.
Well said. Well said. We are the change. We are the leaders that we were waiting for. All right, we'll bring you updates as they come.
Yeah, crazy. Another case. Happy 4th Cops Day. Fuck to play. With that, I'm out of here. My job. Peace out.